coming to visit. No, he wouldn't miss this in Christmas times. Oh, and the sunset is just getting better on a blanket with the skyline painted in blue. Ooh, yeah, that's what we do. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sand, you and me. Doesn't matter, it's Christmas in my heart.
Long time.
What you doing, Elizabeth?
I am blocking this little son of a bitch.
Oh no!
You can pour it in there. Do a quick preview.
She is washing her cardigan. Don't freak out, guys. It's acrylic, and this is how the gift. Her sister. It's a gift for her sister, and that's how she's going to be washing it. So that's how Elizabeth is blocking it.
Because I have to block it, and then I have the button bands to do. And then hopefully sometime today, at least I'm hoping to get one of the full button bands done. And then hopefully sometime we'll get a chance to record and you guys can see it like on, like an actual like garment and shit.
I was covering up the microphone. Can you say all that again? I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's going in the wash. Take out that recycling while you're at it too.
I have to eat my breakfast.
Oh my
Excuse
God.
me.
What do you think, Elizabeth?
Well, it looks like a garment.
I think it looks damn good.
I just have to get those button bands in. So that way there's an edging on the inside here. But
Oh my gosh, pull your shirt up.
sorry.
Jesus.
This is the OnlyFans version.
Oh yeah. That drape is so good. It's so hard to believe this is acrylic yarn. It is so soft.
That Hobie yarn is so good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. Oh
That might be my new
gosh.
go-to. Like seeing that garment turn out like that. Oh my gosh.
How it feels. Because it was, just the regular detergent and just a little bit of fabric softener. But I pulled it out of the dryer. And you can wash it and dry it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it didn't really change the functionality too much. My stitches lay so flat now. I mean, they kind of did before too, but now it's, my increases are so much better. Oh, yeah.
Color looks real nice. Real nice. It's real spiffy. I wouldn't mind having one of those for myself.
See?
It's a good fit.
Bad. You're never going to make one though.
No.
Too much fucking purling.
Yeah, yep. Mm-hmm.
It would look really cute in a garter stitch though too.
Okay. Okay.
I do like...
Ooh, but the ribbing.
Jesus. Can you purl backwards while you do ribbing?
No.
Or knit backwards while you do?
You can, but I'm not going to.
God.
Actually, I think if you did that, you'd have to purl backwards for the knitting. I'm thinking.
Oh.
I'm not sure. We'll have to ask Gabby. She'd know.
Well, and then the problem would come in is the sleeves. If you did garter on here, you'd have to do it for the sleeves too.
Oh, in the round.
Yeah.
Ooh. Or flat and seamed.
Oh, well.
Ooh, but I don't like seaming either.
Let's talk about that too.
How about I just stick to knitting hats in the round?
I did magic loop, and that everything came out nice and straight.
Looks real good. I'm jealous. I'm gonna have to hire someone to make some sweaters for me. Gee, could you imagine how much that would cost?
Oh my god. You pay for all of the yarn and materials and all the stuff, and then you just give it to them. And I don't know, would you pay? You can't pay hourly.
They pay by the yard.
But how much per yard?
I don't know. I don't know what the going rate is. I feel like it's somewhere in the cents, like 50 cents a yard or something like
It
that.
should be. Well, think of how many yards.
It's expensive.
How many yards I've already done for this?
Yeah. A garment for me would be like 2,000 yards. So 2,000 times 50 cents. The bird's in the pan, y'all. You season the chicken.
Reindeer's coming out.
Up there, Italian seasoning.
And then got a little.
Santa Claus is packing the prayer.
You got the salt and pepper
Making sure
Yep.
you've been
That goes on first.
okay.
and the garlic.
Every
Just because
Christmas
this is the only way that Michael will eat anything onion flavored.
That's the
snowman's jumping
100% grade A onion.
On y'all.
putting on the show for everybody. Giving the clowns the last another year. There's something
Dinner was delicious. Delicious. And we had coffee afterward in my new mug. If any of y'all know what this is, please tell me in the comments. I already know what it is, but I want to see if anyone else knows what it is. Because it's my favorite. I'll give you a hint. It's a Pokemon. And it's my favorite one, except normally it's green, but this one is fall inspired and I'm so in love with it. And so is Elizabeth. She doesn't care. She really doesn't care.
I had to back up.
I sent it to her to send to Santa, aka Coda. She didn't even do it. She didn't even send it to him. That's how much she doesn't care. Anyway, she's sitting over there working on some socks, which she'll have to show off when we do advent calendars because they're freaking cute. Well, she's on her first one. How many more rows you got before your toe?
I just officially started the body, which I guess I could take that marker off because the marker was only there to help me.
With your gusset?
So she says 24, but she also says it just depends on the length that you're making for the person. So if I can guesstimate that Macy is about my same size, so I can try it on after a certain point, give it like 20 rows and see where it falls for me, and then I kind of know what I can do for her.
Usually socks have negative ease in them, like a tiny bit of negative ease.
Yeah, you don't want it so, because it's just gonna fall off at that point. You need it to hug a little bit.
Them socks ain't falling off.
No,
Those things are very sturdy. Those are good, like, they're called the movie night socks, and I feel like it's very appropriate.
This would be like if you need to make something for somebody, and you don't like want to be like super fancy and super intricate. Like, it's still color work, but it's not color work that, like, was my first color work project, and I've been
And her stitches are really nice.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But I've been knitting now for not even a year and a half.
The fabric is very uniform. It is. Like, there's no big loose stitches. There's no super tight stitches. Like, the fabric is very uniform. She's been like that with her knitting, though. She just picks things up right away.
You've been amazed with me since that scarf that I made last year.
Well, I'm really just amazed at how good of a teacher I am. So how did you end up doing the color work? Did you end up doing 2 hands or 1 hand?
2 hands.
2 hands?
I kept having to switch back and forth, but there's a couple rows where it's like knit 1 color 1, knit 1 color 2, knit 1 color 1.
Those ones are so easy. Those are my favorites.
And I managed to have 1 in one hand and 1 in the other, and just kind of, it was a little like weird going.
Yeah, it is. It's very weird when you're doing 1 hand or 2 hands at the same time for the first time.
But I kind of pushed myself a little bit because I'm probably going to want to do more color work in the future, and I want to start being more comfortable trying things. Like, I was so afraid to go from throwing to flicking.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like my life would never be the same
If
I
you're
was
not
still a thrower.
If you're
That's
not
just me
familiar with
personally.
like throwing versus flicking, throwing is when you let go of the needle and you wrap the yarn around, and then flicking is where you have it wrapped around your fingers and you just flick with your finger to wrap it.
Like, I can't imagine trying to do color work as a thrower.
That would be awful. That would be so awful.
Oh my gosh.
So we are gonna go set up at the table and we are going to knit for a sec. Maybe listen to a Vlogmas. We're gonna take you guys along with me, and then it's time to open advents. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Come let us adore him. Come let us adore him. Come all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant. Come ye to Bethlehem. Come and behold him, born the King of angels. Come let us adore him. Come let us
Hi,
fine.
Blue.
I'm fine. Hey, look, it's right on the camera though.
What's right on the camera? Oh, it won't be when I flip it.
I know. But for right now, I'm going to accept what I can. I'm fine. Death, destruction.
Don't talk to Blue like that. Look! Look, y'all.
Isn't it cute?
I'm getting farther along.
You want to look at the camera when you talk to me?
Oh, look. Look.
It's just a whole video of us just being like, hey guys, what's up?
I am much farther along on my Home Alone hat.
And we both tried it on. And
We're worried.
well, he's worried for me, but I'm not worried for him.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
I feel like it'll fit me very comfortably. As a slouchy, little bit, I don't even want to say oversized because there's still going to be negative ease,
Yeah.
but it's not as negative as like the Literally So Good beanie.
Yeah.
Like,
So he's working on that. I'm still trying to finish Christmas gifts. So
same, but
it's only a week. It's fine. And I only have to work.
oh my gosh, it's only a week. You got this.
I have to work 4 of the 7 days.
Especially since everything you knit is acrylic, so you just toss it in the washer and dryer.
Actually, I
done.
have to be ready by Christmas Eve, so technically I only have 6 days.
Literally, you only have to finish like 3 hours before the Christmas Eve party.
3 hours before the Christmas
That'll give you
Eve
time to
party.
wash and dry.
3 hours before the Christmas Eve party, I'm going to be driving home from work. I have to work Christmas Eve.
So I'll probably be washing and drying her things for her. And wrapping.
Oh, it makes me itchy. So one niece wanted a hat that has been done for like 2 months now. That was the
Yeah.
first thing that I got done. And I probably should have gotten the socks done too and out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Because then that would have left the cardigan. But stupid me
But
decided...
I also feel like when you get to something like a button band, having something little like that in between is real good. Like it refreshes you.
Well, and it gives you like another sense of like, you can do this. Because by the time, like, this is literally the last 2 things that I have to do besides weaving in a few more ends. But I was getting so like burnt out on it. And it's my own fault. There was plenty of time through October and November that I could have worked on it, and I chose not to because...
Guess who told her to and she didn't?
Coda. He's always looking out
Okay.
for me. He's a good friend.
Coda literally gives 2 shits about our knitting.
Anyway, so I started working on the Movie Night
Slipper Socks.
Slipper Socks by
Oh shit.
I know.
Why are you doing this to me? Autumn and Rain?
Denim Rain.
Denim and Rain. Yes.
Yes. And so there's my little heel.
It's almost like a fade. I'm way into it. Oh my gosh, you got up on that camera.
There we go. I'm used to having to stretch. You don't normally pull it this close. So that's the... And this is my first color work.
Yes.
Officially. This is my first... For the people that skip ahead to the Advent, we know you're there. We hear you.
We're ignoring you.
Yeah,
but we
don't
hear you.
care. So this is where I'm at with this. And I just am doing the actual, like, body of the foot right now. And kind of... The niece that this is for is 11, but she's gonna be a freak of nature. Her foot and my foot are almost the same size as already, and her and I are like eye level. Yes, she's gotten tall.
How?
11. She turned 11 this year. My sister and I have separate mothers, and her mother's side of the family, like her grandfather, Brady's my sister. Her grandfather was like, God, 6'2", 6'3".
Lord have mercy.
Her mom's brother was,
I don't know why I said it like that. I'm 6'2".
6'1" or 6'2" or something like that. My own brother is 6 foot or 6'1" or something like that. So the genes are in the family, and Brady is like 5'8".
I noticed you didn't put your height in there.
I'm 5'4" on the dot. Like literally the line for 64 inches is the top of my head.
Okay, I'll admit it. I'm a hair less than 6'2". I'm deleting this channel. Just kidding. Day 18. 18, 7 days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Vlogmas is gonna be over.
It's about fucking time.
Ready. One,
two,
3.
Ooh, I think I got another. Ooh, it's another orange.
Mine's also orange and brown.
Look at that. Look at it.
Oh, that's beauteous.
Yeah, so that has...
We both got like fall/Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
I like.
Mm-hmm. So I think that is...
Oh my god, I think I left Mikey liking in the last video. I'm mad. There's so many people gonna be like, what? Fuck me.
Oh my god, the amount of shit that you guys don't see is ridiculous.
Mikey likey. Oh my lord.
My Lanta. I think it's because one of the colors in it, we didn't really have the dye for what was in my vision, and I tried, and then I tried a little bit more, and then made it worse.
Can't say I haven't been there, done that.
So
I could show you guys some hideous skeins that I've dyed.
I do think the fuzzy stuff upstairs with the too much acid.
God.
Yeah, bless him for figuring out exactly how much citric acid is needed.
That was awful.
Yeah.
It was like cardboard string.
It was bad. It felt worse than raw wool. Mm-hmm. Which I don't know how you can get worse than like totally raw wool.
It was rough. Literally.
You could like exfoliate your face with it. I'm sorry.
Coming 2022. Michael Sean exfoliators. Exfoliator skein.
Not recommended for wood needles. It will eat through the entire thing.
Yeah. You just shake your needles after knitting it. It's like from the yarn eating away at the wood. Oh my god.
Oh, my back is starting to hurt.
That's amazing. Could you imagine the reels that come out of Michael Sean exfoliators? Like, people just like, and their face is all red and raw.
They're like slightly bleeding down this one side. It feels so good.
This layer of skin was literally created like 10 seconds ago.
That's the bad part of getting older, is when you start laughing too hard, it hurts. It hurts. I don't remember it hurting like this when I was younger.
Oh my gosh.
And then sometimes you pee a little too when you laugh too hard.
Oh my gosh. I always lose it when we're watching the Golden Girls and Sophia, she's talking about her morning routine, and she's like, the first thing I do in the morning is pee. And she was like, but I pee at 6 a.m., but I don't wake up till 8 a.m.
Nobody asked you.
Sophia, that's me. When we talk about the Golden Girls, I'm Sophia. That's Rose. And
Not fucking Rose. Will you calm down?
oh, blow it out your Lugan. You hear Penny? She's over there mooing. 24 minutes?
Why is it upside down?
The phone didn't turn when I turned it. I wonder if we can get her mooing. What, Penny? Well, the girls obviously have to go outside, so we're going to take them out, and then we're going to do their advents. I also wanted to show you guys this. This is called a bed of nails, and I got it for Coda. It was a Christmas present, but I thought that he could get use out of this like right away, so I went ahead and gave it to him.
Are we going to do this together?
Oh my gosh. So, before we step on this, these dots that you guys are seeing, I'll show you up close here in a sec, but they are like, they have these sharp, I don't even know what to call them. They're like spikes all over them.
It doesn't like puncture.
Oh, that doesn't feel too bad.
Oh.
Oh, but when you put your weight on it, oh my God.
Like, oh, no.
It's kind of painful. Oh my God. Stop moving, Michael. Oh. It's supposed to be like an acupuncture type thing. And it's supposed to get rid of pain in your feet after being on like hard floors all day. It's not too bad when you stand on it and you just stand there. But when you try to walk around or move your feet, oh my gosh, it's bad.
Jesus.
Do it. Just get on it and stay. Go. Okay. See, it's better, right? You can still feel it, but it's not as bad.
Sure.
Now walk.
Oh, that was my knee. Sorry.
Just getting old, y'all.
I don't want to walk.
Do it.
I can't.
Do it.
I can't. Oh, I just have to. Oh, and you can feel it too. Back.
What'd you say?
What if you did like laid like on your back on it and like.
Okay, actually, yes. This product is good for your feet as well as your back. This is an infomercial now. But yes,
Click.
actually, you can't.
Change channel.
Stop it. I was trying to watch I Love Lucy. But yeah, you can also lay on this thing. And it's good for the back too.
That does sound good, actually.
Like
having like a sweatshirt on to really like protect.
Right.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then laying on it. That
I wanted to show them up close. So this is what the little beads look like.
Death spikes.
Yeah, death spikes. Oh my gosh, those look deadly on camera. While Elizabeth is getting their advents ready, I wanted to show you guys, this is one of my other favorite parts about the Christmas season, is when these little Debbie Christmas trees come out. These are my favorite little Debbies.
Christmas time gone high. In the morning, magic light. Christmas time gone high. In the morning, magic light. Christmas time gone high. In the morning, magic light. Christmas time gone high. In the morning, in hearts we will carry a song heard through the ages from angels on high. In hearts we will carry a song heard through the ages from angels. Christmas time on high.
Vlogmas Day 18 has come to an end. It's pretty late. It's like midnight. I have to get on a better sleeping schedule. I have to. I keep, like, my medicine keeps having me take naps. Like, not forcing me, but you know, it's making me more lethargic, like, after I take it, because I take it around, like, noon, and then when, like, 2 o'clock comes around, I'm like suddenly wiped out. Like I have no energy and I have to take a nap to replenish energy. That's another thing. Like, do y'all have any tips for like replenishing energy without a nap? Because it's really starting to cramp my style. I'm not someone that naps. I don't feel good after I nap. I really don't. Like, I do energy wise about like a half hour after I wake up. But like when I actually wake up from the nap, like I just feel awful. I don't like it. I don't like the feeling. It feels, I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's just weird to me. I'm not a napper. And it's especially bad when I fall asleep, like when I take a nap around like 3 and then I end up staying asleep for like 2 hours. And I wake up and it's dark outside. It's just so weird. And I don't like it. So if y'all have any tips on like getting energy rather than taking a nap, please let me know. Besides coffee, because like I said, like in one of my earlier Vlogmases, coffee does not affect me like in the same way that it affects other people. I drink my coffee strong. Like I fill my coffee filter like I want to say 2/3 of the way with coffee, maybe three quarters, somewhere around there. Because it's not the caffeine in the coffee that gets me going in the morning. It's the taste. Like the dark coffee taste is such a like shock to my taste buds that it like wakes me up. And Penny got startled by something. So that's what actually gets me up and going in the morning, is that like startle from the dark taste of the coffee and not necessarily the caffeine itself. So if I were to drink coffee at like 2, it's like drinking water. It's not, it doesn't do anything for me. And I haven't found like another way of like, you know, waking myself up. And it doesn't work. Like the whole shock to the taste buds, like I've already been drinking coffee, so the shock to the taste buds does not work at like 2 o'clock. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, any tips on energy would be great. Also, we were watching Vlogmas, and it is so unseasonable in so many places. Like, I've only seen 1 or 2 Vlogmas episodes. I've only seen 1 or 2 Vlogmas episodes where people actually have, like, snow. And it's kind of, like, taking me out of the holiday spirit. We've only had snow here once, and it was in, like, the beginning of November. I love snow. And I want some snow before Christmas, but we don't have any planned. I just checked my weather app because it does like a 7-day forecast. And so it goes to I believe it goes to next Monday. So maybe it's an 8-day forecast. It's showing no snow. It's snowing. It's showing rain on like next Monday, I think. But no snow. I've also seen that it's been unseasonably warm in a lot of places, and it has here too. There was like 2 days, I think, where I actually walked Coda to his car, and I was in my basketball shorts, and I wasn't uncomfortable. It was like a fall day. It was like 45 degrees outside, I think, at like 10 o'clock in the morning. That ain't cute. I don't like it. I don't like it. Penny's standing here next to me. I think she might be worried because I'm like talking to no one, so she might be confused. She's like, "Who are you? Are you talking to me?" But yeah, I really wish it would snow, but it doesn't look like it's going to. At least not before Christmas, which is weird because the farmers were looking at the persimmon seeds. And the persimmon seeds were saying that it was going to be a very bad winter, like a lot of snow. But I guess technically, I think one of the things that really trips people up with winter is the fact that we associate Christmas with winter so much, at least here in the US. But that's actually like just in the beginning of winter. So like the heart of winter isn't until like January, February. So I feel like that's where a lot of us get tripped up with like what winter is. Like right now, it feels like it should be like a blizzard outside because of the persimmon seeds. So I'm like wondering if the persimmon seed thing is just like an old wives' tale. Not like an old wives' tale, but you get what I'm saying. I don't like to say old wives' tale because it's just not cool. But you get what I'm saying. Like one of those old rumors or whatever, hoaxes. I don't know what else to call them. We've always just called them old wives' tales. But yeah, the persimmon seeds, I can't remember, but if you're not familiar with the persimmon seeds myths or whatever, the seeds will either form a knife, a fork, or a spoon. And that dictates, or doesn't dictate, but it foretells the harshness of the winter. So it could be mild, it could be unseasonable, like warm, or it could be like very bad, like a lot of snow and stuff like that. And the persimmon seeds were predicting very bad weather this year. But I guess we've barely entered winter, so I guess there's still plenty of time for there to be a bad winter. But as far as I can tell, this is a very mild winter. It is very mild. We've had snow one time and it wasn't even in the winter. It was during the fall. I guess maybe winter technically isn't even here yet. Maybe winter doesn't technically start until like December 21st. Or 22nd. Probably the 22nd. Maybe it's right around the corner. That's kind of scary. Thanks for coming along on another day of Vlogmas. I have not that much to do tomorrow. It's starting to wind down. I have like 2 packages to pack. And that's it. And I'll be done. Except for when I release the Literally So Good beanie, I'll be putting Sagittarius in the shop. And then when I release the Home Loan beanie, I'll be putting Kevin and Sweater in the shop. And that's it. I'm excited. I'm not expecting to sell too much whenever I release those patterns. Because, you know, everyone's already spent like a lot of holiday money, but I'm still going to offer those yarns just because I want people to be able to make those beanies exactly as the originals were made, if that's, you know, what they're into. So I want that option to be available, but I'm not expecting to smell. I'm not expecting to sell very much. But, oh my gosh, I'm going to start on another tangent. I got to get to bed. I got to be up in 5 hours with Coda to get him off to work. So, I can't wait to talk to y'all tomorrow. Merry Christmas, and I'll see y'all in the morning for some coffee.